In the not-so-distant future, Earth had become a thriving hub for interspecies commerce and diplomacy. Humans, once confined to the boundaries of their own solar system, now mingled with beings from distant galaxies. Spaceports on Earth buzzed with activity, hosting a myriad array of species, each contributing to the tapestry of intergalactic relations. Amid this cosmic melting pot, Dr. Alara Miles stood out, not for her looks, which were unremarkably human, but for her profession. Alara was a renowned xenopsychologist, specializing in the mental health of extraterrestrial beings. Her clinic, a modest but technologically advanced facility, sat on the edge of one of Earth's busiest spaceports in New Geneva. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the landing pads, a peculiar sight caught Alara's attention. A Zalarian transport vessel, a sleek craft known for its luminescent blue panels, made a rather ungraceful landing. The ship wobbled and jerked, barely managing to stabilize before touching down. It was clear to any onlooker that the pilot was under severe stress. Alara watched as the hatch opened and a figure emerged, its body covered in shimmering translucent scales that reflected the twilight. The creature, clearly a Zalarian, stumbled out, clutching its head, antennae twitching erratically. Zalarians were known for their mental prowess and emotional control, but this one seemed on the verge of collapse. Acting on instinct, Alara approached the distressed alien. "Hello, I'm Dr. Alara Miles. I specialize in xenopsychology. Do you need assistance?" she offered in a soft, empathetic tone. The Zalarian looked up, its eyes wide with a mixture of confusion and relief. "I am Ambassador Thalrix. I am not well," it admitted, its voice a melodic hum undercut by palpable tension. Alara nodded understandingly. "Let's get you to my clinic. It's not far. I can help," she said, guiding the ambassador with a gentle hand. Thalrix seemed to hesitate at first, then, driven perhaps by desperation, followed her. Inside her clinic, Alara led Thalrix to a specially designed chamber equipped with various devices to facilitate communication and provide comfort to different alien species. She initiated a soothing atmosphere, dimming the lights to a soft glow that Zalarians found calming. "I need to understand what's causing your distress," Alara began once Thalrix settled. "Can you describe what you're feeling?" "It's overwhelming," Thalrix murmured. "The pressures of my duties, the constant travel, the negotiations, it never ends. And now, something went wrong with our navigation system as we entered Earth's atmosphere. It was too much." Alara listened intently, her mind racing with possible therapies. She knew that Zalarians were susceptible to sensory overload due to their highly sensitive neural architecture. "Let's try a sensory recalibration," she suggested. "It can help realign your neural pathways and reduce stress." Thalrix agreed, and Alara activated the device. A soft hum filled the room, and a series of gentle, rhythmic lights began to pulse around Thalrix. The Zalarian's breathing slowly became more regular, and its twitching antennae calmed. After the session, Thalrix seemed transformed. The stress had visibly lifted, replaced by a serene expression. "Thank you, Dr. Miles. I can't remember the last time I felt this peaceful," Thalrix said, a hint of awe in its voice. Alara smiled. "You're welcome, Ambassador. Remember, it's important to take time for yourself, even with all your responsibilities." As Thalrix prepared to leave, it paused. "Dr. Miles, I am in your debt. We Zalarians do not forget those who aid us. I will find a way to repay you in a manner you might not expect." Intrigued but focused on her professional ethics, Alara simply nodded. She watched as Thalrix departed, unaware of how this encounter would soon unfold into an adventure beyond her wildest expectations. The cosmos, vast and mysterious, had a way of rewarding those who served it well. 3 weeks passed since Thalrix's visit to Alara's clinic, each day fading into the next in a blur of routine consultations and research. Alara was analyzing data from her latest paper on interspecies stress patterns when her communication panel beeped insistently. The signal was encrypted, a rare occurrence, suggesting an interstellar origin. With a mix of curiosity and caution, Alara accepted the call. The holographic display shimmered to life, revealing Thalrix, whose scales now glowed with a healthy iridescence, a stark contrast to their previous state. Dr. Miles, I trust you are well, Thalrix began, its voice carrying a warmth that had been absent before. I've been rejuvenated since our last meeting, thanks to your intervention. As I mentioned, I owe you a debt of gratitude. Alara inclined her head slightly. I'm glad to hear you're doing better, Ambassador. I was simply doing my job. Indeed, but you did more than perform a job. You restored my ability to serve effectively. I wish to extend an invitation to you, Thalrix continued, its antennae flickering with what Alara recognized as excitement. My government is intrigued by your expertise and compassionate approach. We would like you to visit our home planet, Zalarian, to share your knowledge and perhaps learn from us as well. The offer left Alara momentarily speechless. Visiting another planet, especially one as culturally rich and technologically advanced as Zalarian, was a rare opportunity. I'm honored, Thalrix. It would be a privilege to learn more about your people and contribute in any way I can, Alara responded, her mind already racing with the possibilities. Excellent! Thalrix exclaimed. We have arranged for your transport. A vessel will arrive at New Geneva Spaceport tomorrow morning. It will bring you directly to Zalarian. As the call ended, Alara felt a surge of anticipation. This was more than a professional opportunity. It was a chance to make a significant impact on a galactic scale. The following morning, Alara stood at the designated docking bay, her small suitcase containing essentials and her research equipment by her side. The Zalarian vessel that descended from the sky was an impressive sight, its sleek design cutting through the atmosphere with graceful precision. The ship landed, and the hatch opened to reveal a delegation of Zalarians, each adorned in the traditional garb of their respective roles. A distinguished-looking individual stepped forward. Welcome, Dr. Miles. I am Siloran, the Chief Scientific Advisor to the Zalarian Council. We are pleased to welcome you aboard. As Alara stepped onto the ship, the interior revealed itself to be as advanced as its exterior, with walls that pulsed with soft ambient light, and panels that displayed a variety of alien script. Your journey will take approximately 3 Earth days, Siloran explained as the ship smoothly lifted off. During this time, we will brief you on our societal structure and the scientific projects you may wish to involve yourself with. Alara spent the journey immersed in discussions with Zalarian scientists and diplomats, each conversation opening new doors to understanding their sophisticated culture and the complex issues they faced. Upon arrival, the panoramic view from the ship's port was breathtaking. Zalarian's surface was a tapestry of vibrant ecosystems, with sprawling cities that harmoniously blended technology and nature. Alara was escorted to a towering structure that shimmered like a mirage against the planet's bright skyline. This is the Citadel of Harmony, where our council convenes. It is here that we hope to learn from you, and perhaps offer some insights of our own, Siloran stated, gesturing towards the expansive halls that lay ahead. As they entered the Citadel, Alara felt a profound sense of responsibility. She was not just a visitor, she was a bridge between species, her every action a step towards deeper interstellar understanding. The weight of this realization was heavy, but exhilarating. As she prepared to meet the council, Alara knew that this experience would redefine her life's work, shaping her path in ways she had yet to imagine. Alara's first meeting with the Zalarian Council was held in a grand chamber, where the walls themselves seemed to pulse with a life of their own, adjusting their hues to reflect the mood of the room. Council members, each from different sectors of Zalarian society, floated in their designated spaces around a central dais, where Alara was invited to speak. As she presented her research on xenopsychology, Alara noticed the Council's interest in her data on stress management across species. They were particularly intrigued by her innovative approaches to neural recalibration techniques, something they believed could be adapted to benefit not only individuals, but entire communities on Zalarian. After her presentation, a council member named Virex, renowned for his work in bio-neural engineering, approached her. Dr. Miles, your insights into stress pathways are quite revolutionary. We wonder, could your techniques enhance our Harmony Grid? The Harmony Grid, Alara learned, was a planet-wide network that linked the consciousness of every Zalarian, allowing them to share emotions and experiences. It was both a tool for societal cohesion and a way to preemptively resolve conflicts. Potentially, Alara replied cautiously, but my techniques were developed for individual therapy. Scaling them up to a societal level would require extensive adaptation and testing. We are prepared to provide you with all the resources you need, Virex assured her. Consider it a collaborative experiment. Your knowledge, combined with our technology, could usher in a new era of peace for our people. Alara agreed, intrigued by the challenge and the potential benefits of such a project. Over the next few weeks, she worked closely with Virex and other Zalarian scientists, adapting her techniques to interface with the Harmony Grid. They developed a prototype device capable of recalibrating neural pathways on a mass scale. The first test was conducted in a controlled environment, with a group of volunteers connected to the grid. Alara monitored the effects through a series of biofeedback mechanisms, watching anxiously as the device emitted a series of low-frequency pulses. The results were immediately apparent. Participants reported a significant decrease in stress and an increased sense of connection to those around them. The council, observing the results, voted unanimously to proceed with a second, larger trial. Alara's days became a blur of activity, refining the device, monitoring results, and making adjustments. She rarely left the lab, driven by the desire to see this project succeed, not just for the sake of scientific achievement, but for the potential good it could do. Her dedication did not go unnoticed. The Zalarians, who valued harmony above all, saw in her a kindred spirit, someone who truly understood the ethos of their society. They invited her to participate in their harmony ceremonies, a deeply spiritual experience that further deepened her understanding of their culture and the emotional architecture of their minds. These ceremonies, coupled with her work, gave Alara a unique insight into the fabric of Zalarian society, allowing her to tailor her approach to seamlessly integrate with their existing systems. The device was soon ready for widespread deployment. On the day of the final test, Alara stood beside Virex and other council members, watching as the device was activated, linking every Zalarian to the enhanced Harmony Grid. A wave of calm swept across the planet, a gentle pulse of light and energy that connected every individual to the collective. The success of the project marked a monumental achievement in both her career and the history of Zalarian. Alara, once an outsider, had become a pivotal figure in the evolution of an entire civilization, her work weaving new threads into the intricate tapestry of interstellar relations. As the enhanced Harmony Grid began its integration throughout Zalarian, the effects on societal dynamics were profound and immediate. Alara continued to monitor the implementation, observing the changes not only through data, but through the very atmosphere of the communities she visited. The Zalarians, already a peaceful species, found new depths to their serenity, their interactions imbued with an enriched understanding and empathy. During this period of sweeping transformation, Alara received an unexpected invitation from Saloran, now revealed as a key member of the secretive Ethical Oversight Committee. Dr. Miles, your work has brought about significant change. However, there are matters within the Citadel that require your unique perspective. Intrigued, Alara followed Saloran through the labyrinthine corridors of the Citadel, descending into areas she hadn't known existed. They arrived at a secure facility deep within the structure, where Saloran paused before a sealed vault door. Inside here are the echo chambers, used historically to contain and study anomalies in our society, individuals whose emotions or thoughts resisted integration into the Harmony Grid, Saloran explained with a gravity that tightened the air around them. Alara felt a twinge of apprehension. You use the term historically. Is this practice not current? It is not, thanks to the advancements you helped create, but there are residual effects and ethical considerations we must now address, Saloran responded, leading her into the chamber. Inside, the echo chambers were a stark contrast to the vibrant life above. The chambers were designed to dampen connectivity, creating isolated pockets where individuals could be studied without influencing the grid. Alara's heart sank at the implications of such isolation on a species so interconnected. We need to understand if there's a way to integrate these individuals without enforcing conformity, using your recalibration techniques, Saloran stated, presenting a challenge that was both a technical puzzle and a moral quandary. Ilara spent days with the occupants of the echo chambers, learning their stories, understanding their fears, and their desire, or lack thereof, to connect with the harmony grid. Each case was unique, presenting a complex interplay of biological, psychological, and social factors. Armed with this new understanding, Ilara worked to modify her recalibration device, aiming to offer optional integration pathways that respected individual autonomy while promoting societal cohesion. The task was daunting, requiring delicate adjustments and an ethical framework that balanced individual rights with the collective good. The breakthrough came when Ilara developed a biofeedback algorithm that could adapt in real time to an individual's comfort levels, promoting a gradual and voluntary integration. The first trials were small but successful, with participants reporting a sense of control and comfort that had been previously unattainable. Word of her success spread, and soon Ilara was invited to present her findings at an interstellar symposium, attended by representatives from various alien civilizations. Her presentation outlined not only the technical aspects of her work, but the ethical philosophy guiding it, advocating for technology that supported diversity within unity. As she spoke, the response was overwhelmingly positive, with many civilizations expressing interest in adapting her methods to their own societal challenges. Ilara found herself at the center of a new interstellar dialogue on integration and individuality, her work heralding a shift in how advanced societies might balance these complex issues. Back on Zalarian, as she watched the sunset from the balcony of her temporary residence, Ilara reflected on the ripple effects of her journey. The challenges were immense, but the rewards, seeing a society transform and adapt while respecting the individuality of its members, were beyond what she had imagined when she first set foot on the planet. The experiences here would fuel her research and her dreams for many years to come. As the symposium concluded, a consortium of interstellar researchers approached Ilara, proposing a collaborative initiative. The project aimed to apply her recalibration technology across multiple planetary systems, tailoring it to accommodate the diverse psychological landscapes of various alien species. Energized by the collaborative spirit, Ilara agreed to lead the initiative, setting the stage for a broader application of her work. The consortium established a base on a neutral space station, strategically located at the crossroads of several major trade routes. This location provided easy access for representatives and scientists from participating civilizations. Ilara's days were filled with meetings, experiments, and discussions, each pushing the boundaries of xenopsychology further into uncharted territories. One afternoon, while reviewing data streams from a trial on a remote planet, Ilara was interrupted by an urgent communication from Virex. His hologram flickered to life, his expression taut with concern. "Dr. Miles, we've encountered a situation. A faction on Zalarian is resisting the further implementation of the grid enhancements. They claim it infringes on their cultural practices and personal autonomy." This news was a blow to Ilara, who had always prioritized ethical considerations in her work. "I'll return immediately," she assured Virex, her mind racing with potential solutions. Upon her return to Zalarian, Ilara found a society teetering on the brink of division. The resistant faction, known as the Singularists, valued individuality above the collective harmony, fearing that the enhanced grid might erase the nuances that defined their personal identities. Ilara requested a meeting with the leaders of the Singularists in an attempt to understand their concerns and reach a compromise. The meeting was held in a neutral location, a serene park where the natural beauty of Zalarian was on full display, reminding all parties of their shared love for their world. "The harmony grid was meant to enhance our society, not to homogenize it," Ilara began, choosing her words with care. "Your fears are valid, but the technology has been designed with flexibility in mind. It can be adapted to ensure that no one is connected more deeply than they wish." The Singularist spokesperson, a sharp-eyed individual named Torin, listened intently. "Our traditions require solitude and reflection. We fear that constant connectivity will drown out the voices of our ancestors, which guide us in solitude." Ilara nodded, understanding their concerns more deeply. "What if we could create a modified version of the grid for the Singularists? one that allows for periods of disconnection as needed for your cultural practices. Intrigued, Torin and his colleagues deliberated on her proposal. Over the next several days, Ilara worked with singularist engineers and cultural historians, designing a prototype grid that allowed users to tune out the collective input, mimicking the natural ebbs and flows of solitary reflection. The new system was trialed, and the results were encouraging. Singularists found that they could engage with the grid on their own terms, experiencing the benefits of connectivity without sacrificing their cultural heritage. This breakthrough was a testament to the power of dialogue and respect for diversity. The successful integration of the singularist modifications into the harmony grid became a model for other civilizations grappling with similar issues, highlighting the importance of cultural sensitivity in technological advancements. Back at the consortium space station, Ilara shared her experiences, her findings providing valuable insights into the complex interplay between technology, society, and individuality. Her work not only advanced the field of xenopsychology, but also provided a blueprint for ethical technological integration, emphasizing that true harmony respects and celebrates diversity. As Ilara's reputation grew, so too did the impact of her work, becoming a cornerstone for interspecies relations and technological ethics. The success on Zalarian had sparked a wave of interest across multiple systems, leading to an unprecedented era of cooperation and understanding. Months later, Ilara was invited to speak at the Galactic Council, a distinguished assembly of leaders from across the known universe. It was an honor reserved for those whose contributions had significantly shaped interstellar society. The council chambers were vast, filled with delegates from countless species, all waiting to hear from the human whose work had transcended her own species' limitations. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," Ilara began, her voice steady despite the sea of eyes fixed upon her. "We stand at a crossroads in our shared history. The challenges we face are not just of technological advancement, but of ensuring that our advancements do not strip us of our cultural identities and individual freedoms." She continued, outlining the lessons learned from Zalarian and the successful integration with the singularists. "Our diversity is our strength, not a barrier to overcome. The technology I've helped develop is a tool, one that must be used with careful consideration of its profound impact on the fabric of society." Her speech was met with applause, a rare unanimous approval in a forum often divided by differing agendas and ideologies. The council proposed the formation of a new body, the Interspecies Ethics Committee, with Ilara nominated as its head. This committee would oversee the development and implementation of technologies affecting consciousness and cultural integrity across the galaxy. Ilara accepted, aware of the enormity of the task ahead, but driven by a vision of a universe where technology served to enhance rather than override the individual. Back on the space station, Ilara's team continued to refine the technologies, always prioritizing ethical considerations and maintaining an open dialogue with all stakeholders involved. The work was challenging, involving complex negotiations and continuous research, but Ilara found profound satisfaction in it. One evening, as she watched a nebula's slow dance through the viewport, Ilara received a private transmission from Thalrix. The Zalarian's image appeared before her, its scales shimmering with what she had come to recognize as joy. "Dr. Miles, your work has now been integrated into the curriculum of our highest academies. You've not only changed our present, you are shaping our future generations," Thalrix informed her, its voice filled with gratitude. Ilara smiled, touched by the unexpected news. "That's wonderful to hear, Thalrix. I hope that the lessons we've learned together will inspire them to explore and respect the vastness of experiences this universe has to offer." As the call ended, Ilara turned back to the stars. The nebula continued its eternal waltz, a reminder of the universe's endless possibilities. With each planet and species that adopted her methods, she saw the emergence of a new paradigm, one where the balance between unity and individuality was not only possible but celebrated. The journey had been long, filled with challenges and triumphs, but as Ilara gazed into the cosmos, she felt a deep connection to the countless lives she had touched. There was still much to do, but for now she allowed herself a moment of peace, a brief respite in her commitment to a universe woven together by the threads of mutual understanding and respect.